Don't throw that thermos bottle. You broke the last one.
Oh, it doesn't hurt. Gee, it's always like this.
What is keeping your mother?
She said to tell you she'd be right out.
Well, if we don't get started pretty soon, all the good spots are going to be gone.
Mother's coming right out.
Well, it's about time. Well, for goodness sake, what is it now, Alice?
Oh, I wonder if I turned the stove off.
I turned it off, Mother.
Come on, Alice, let's get going. You know what time it is? We're going to get caught right in the middle of the Sunday traffic.
Oh, George, there's really no sense being in such a mad rush.
Come on, get in, let's go.
We want to get there in one piece.
Well, you road hog.
Morning, Jim. Anything wrong? Good morning. May I see your operator's license, please? Good morning, Mrs. Gregory.
Good morning, Jim.
Oh, wait a minute, Jim. You're not going to give me another one of those. I wasn't speeding.
But this isn't for speeding this time. This is for violation of Section 575 of the Vehicle Code. The law says you must stop when the crossing signals are in operation, and then proceed only with caution. You sailed right through that crossing, George.
Seems to me you're getting pretty technical. Why, lots of people do that every day.
That's true, George. In fact, we've had 3 accidents at that crossing already, and I wouldn't want you to be the 4th.
Let's skip the lecture, Jim. I get all I want of that in old Judge Friedman's court. Give me the ticket. We're in a hurry.
Sign it right here, please. Tickets don't impress you much, do they, George? George, for the sake of you and your family, I'd like to show you something just down the road. It may bring this problem a little closer to home.
Not now, Jim. We're on our way to a picnic.
Wait a minute, dear. Jim's not the only one concerned with your driving. It's getting so I hate to ride with you. If he thinks it's important and is willing to take the time, then the least we can do is go along.
Okay, Alice, you win. It won't make any difference anyway. Half the day's shot. Go on, Jim. We'll follow you.
Fine. Take a good look around you, George. Not so long ago, many of these were fine new automobiles like your own, built to give years of service and pleasure. But accidents have reduced them to piles of twisted metal of value only as salvage. This waste is not a pretty picture, but in our mass production economy, these may be expendable. But what are the people involved? Take the case of Bob Stevens and Gail Roberts. What would their parents give to have them back again?
Is that the Bob Stevens that played on the junior college team?
Yes, Tom, this was his hot rod. You know, in spite of what many people think, most hot rodders are good drivers. Many belong to clubs with strict safety rules. But Bob was a lone wolf. He didn't believe in clubs and liked to make his own driving rules. He had souped up his car until it would really dig out, but the brakes and the steering were faulty, and it would never have passed the safety inspection of a hot rod club. On the way to school in the morning, Bob would sometimes go by way of Middleton Road. If a train was due, he'd loaf along and let it overtake him. Then he'd open up, racing the train the next 3 miles to the crossing. Gail, a freshman at the junior college, was the only child of Claudia and Mike Roberts and a neighbor of Bob's. Bob's reckless driving was well known to Gail's parents, so they had asked her not to ride with him. She hesitated for a moment when he stopped to pick her up, but after all, he was good-looking and a star player on the team. With such an attentive audience, Bob felt he had to put the old buggy through its paces. had warned Bob about racing the train, and his dad had threatened to take away his car if he did it again. Yet, when he saw the streamliner, he couldn't resist giving Gale a real thrill. Crossing accidents are spectacular and often make front-page news, but actually they account for less than 1% of all traffic accidents. However, your chances of coming out of a crossing accident alive are much less. You don't stand much of a chance tangling with a heavy train.
And sometimes trains are knocked off the track, too. And lots of other people may be hurt.
That's right, Tom. That's a very serious danger. And also, there's a danger of fire. Now, this car belonged to Morris Ankerson, a salesman with Continental Corporation here in town. Ankerson came into the office on Friday after a hard week on the road. He had planned to finish his reports and go home early to his family. But when he arrived, the annual office party was in full swing. Morris wasn't a drinking man. Besides, he wanted to finish his reports, but the people in the office were insistent. Well, maybe just one. After all, it was the holiday season. He didn't see the gang very often. Besides, he didn't want to be called a bum sport. When he staggered out of the office some time later, he was pretty well loaded. If he had played it smart, he'd have left the car right there and taken a cab home. But he never felt more confident of his ability to drive. The company car was badly wrecked, and Morris was arrested and brought to trial for drunk driving. He lost his job with Continental.
Well, any man's a fool who drives in that condition.
Yes, and a man is just as vulnerable who fails to use his common sense, takes chances, winks at the law. The millions of dollars spent on highway engineering and warning devices are wasted in his particular case. This case should interest you. The Brown family was a family of 4, like yourselves. Mrs. Brown had been sick, and they hadn't had a vacation for quite some time. They tried to squeeze as much activity as they could into their 2 weeks, and so didn't leave for home until mid-morning of the last day. Usually Brown was a conscientious driver, but he had to be back on the job the next morning and had so many miles to go that he became impatient and reckless. It was like pulling teeth to get him to stop for lunch, and when he did, he begrudged every minute lost from driving. That afternoon, Brown continued to take chances until he passed the scene of a bad accident. And then, like most drivers, he slowed for a few miles until the memory of the accident was forgotten. Toward evening, Brown might have had his wife spell him at the wheel or stopped a few minutes for coffee. But they were getting closer to home, and all he could think of was turning into his own driveway. When Brown stopped for gas in Riverview, he should have pulled into a motel and got a good night's rest and then gone home in the morning. But instead, he chose to drive on, trying to keep awake. With the windows up and the radio turned on and dull from long hours of continuous driving, Brown didn't hear the locomotive horn or notice the flashing lights at the Monte Vista crossing. Most people think only of the danger by a train. But in more than 1/3 of the crossing accidents, the automobile runs into the side of the train. This is what happened in the case of the Brown family.
Jim, thanks for the let cross here today. I realize now that with a little less luck back at that crossing, you might be telling our story to some future violator. I don't think you'll have to worry about me anymore.
Probably not, George, but you are one among many. There are, unfortunately, many thousands we never contact until we go to the scene of the accident.
But there must be some way to stop this wholesale murder, some way to make the highways safer. Why isn't something being done about it?
Well, much is being done to engineer safety into our rapidly expanding systems of highways, secondary roads, and city streets. New freeways, divided highways, and traffic separations are being designed and built with the idea of smoothing the flow of traffic and reducing the danger of accidents. More and more busy highway and street intersections are protected by traffic lights, stop signs, and yield right-of-way signs. Many thousands of rail highway crossings are separated, while thousands more are protected by approach signs, automatic lights, bells, gates, and crossbucks. But engineering alone cannot stop accidents. A warning device is only effective when it is respected by the driver. The Highway Patrol and other enforcement agencies are doing all they can with their limited manpower to educate the public as to their personal responsibility while driving. In such education lies the greatest hope for the future. The Signs of Life program, organized by the National Safety Council and sponsored by community groups, is bringing a problem before the public. All the efforts in engineering and education alone are ineffective unless the millions of motorists like yourselves fully accept their responsibility as drivers, keeping mentally alert, obeying all traffic laws, and respecting the rights of others. Excuse me, that's for me.
Massachusetts.
1667, 10-4, Cape 190.